A new league is upon us then, and it's time for some new recruits. Let's meet them. Hello there, viewers. Welcome back to an episode of Boston Boys with the Boston Boy.Spengy FM, and we start on the transfer screen. Now, interestingly, the window isn't closed just yet, so there is still time, 5 days in fact, to make a few more additions if we need to. But of course, let's introduce a new season, and the best way to do that is introduce some new players. Of course, some of these, if you watch the transfer episode, you will be fully aware of, but let's go through them very briefly in case you missed it. Will Ferry, a left winger from Southampton, I think certainly fits the bill for what we need this year. Worth noting, if you missed it last episode as well, that we've upped the attribute colours just up by 1 across the board. So if some players don't look quite as good as they used to be, it's not necessarily that they've declined, it's just that we've changed the colours. Will Ferry, they're the first that comes in. Very pacey, decent dribbling and crossing attributes as well. If it's a player left winger, he's the man that we want. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Kasinga Medea hasn't re-signed, didn't want to re-sign, so shout out to Newcastle. In fact, that was at the start of the window, so I say that. He's been bought. I'd have bought him for that. Oh, what a pity. Playing the Democratic Republic of Congo. I would have signed him for that. That is a shame. We've messed that up a little bit, really. So they wouldn't let me loan him, but they're more than happy to sell him off to someone. Okay. Let's move on, viewers, before I get very, very frustrated. We'll do the 4 free transfers back to back. But Andrew Leary, on loan from West Brom, I think is a very, very capable striker. A little bit of pace, not the fastest, but pacey enough for me. Great dribbling, great first touch, good heading ability as well. 5'9", great teamwork, work rate, and a couple of other good attributes is there. Composure, I think, is one of the big ones. Bravery next to that. So yeah, I think we've got ourselves a good player here. I say on loan from West Brom. Last year played in League 2, a little bit for Grimsby, and scored some goals. So he's local to the area. Hopefully he can rent the same place, and it should work out fine. And finally, Colin Thompson, who initially Huddersfield were going, no, you can't have him. We'd rather he plays with higher quality players. They said it in that voice as well. Luckily for us, though, we've got him, and he's back. Hello there. Welcome back, Colin Thompson. Had him, of course, for the previous 2 years, and he's with us again. Was a star a couple of years ago when he came in for a short time. Was excellent last year all season. So he's back again. Maybe as a third choice rather than a starter this time. And the reason for that is that Sean Raggett, on a free transfer, one of our best and biggest signings this summer, it feels like, is coming in. Nottingham Forest played him a little bit last year in the Championship, so to get him, I think, is a little bit of a coup. If you're a Lincoln fan or a Norwich fan or perhaps a Dover fan as well, you're more than familiar with Sean Raggett. 6'5" of defender, can play as a ball-playing defender as well. I initially signed him as a bit of a no-nonsense defender, but 12 passing ability is pretty good. Technique's not quite there, but those mental attributes are fantastic. You've only really got to worry about his agility, balance, and acceleration, but apart from that, he's a top defender. So hopefully we've got ourselves quite the player to play in our new look back 4 as we move on. Then you can see here, this is a really nice signing. Amadou Dobra. Dobra is a player that I personally wasn't necessarily going to sign, but here he is, Albanian international. We always like one of those, with great dribbling, really nice physical attributes as well, good work rate and technique to play in behind the striker. We've now got a couple of players that play that role, and Dobra is one of them, but he can also play up front as well, so if we require him to play slightly further forward, we can do. Nice little bit of versatility with him. Equally, you can play a little bit further back in that Mazzala role, which I might try and train Callum Gribbin in as well. You can see, released from Ipswich, they didn't want him anymore, but we will certainly take him, and hopefully he'll flourish under us. And speaking of players that I hope to flourish under us, Callum McManaman. He's not quite Ryan Alabiusu in terms of pace, but in technical and mental attributes, he's got a lot on Alabiusu. So I think we've got ourselves a nice experienced winger. Of course, if you're familiar with the English game, you've probably heard and seen of him before. West Brom, Wigan was where I think he had one of his most successful spells, and we've brought him in after not really playing for Barnsley all too much. I think he's a nice bit of experience to have in the squad, though. We don't have a great deal of it. He doesn't bring too much leadership qualities. An experienced winger, I quite like that. It's different to Alabiusu. If we're trying to control a game, I think he'd be better at that than Alabiusu would be. So Callum McManaman, welcome. And finally, Zach Dronfield. Now, of course, I say finally as if there's going to be no more. Hopefully there'll be a couple more brought in, but another midfield option for us. Deep lying playmaker. You can see just really nicely well-rounded attributes. Nothing too fancy going on there, but 21 years of age. Started at Norwich, then went to Leyton Orient, Forest Green, Doncaster. 3 pretty good loan spells. You look at what he achieved in those times. Didn't have the best average rating ever, but scored and got lots of assists, especially in those loans previous. He's now taking the step up to League One, and hopefully he can put in some decent performances for us. Again, probably going to be a rotation option, but happy with our addition. So, we're going to play one game today, and after that, do a little bit probably of transfer stuff. So, after the game, don't go anywhere because we're going to carry on with a little bit more here and there. Interesting situations here. I'm actually not going to play top. I've changed my mind late doors. Team-wise, then, one of the best bit of news is that Ryan Albiusu now counts as a homegrown player at the club. So, we don't have to play a player that's perhaps not quite as good in that position. The only concern is today, though, he's not really match fit for the game. So, McManaman's going to play instead of him, and Albiusu is going to find his way on to the bench instead of, this is difficult, Lawrence, I think is probably the best option. And the team then looks very familiar to last season, and we're going to keep the consistency of last year and follow it forward into this season as well, and see how these boys do in the League One table. So, Burton will be in goal. France, Akuma, Raggett and Seddon at the back. Seddon keeps his place at left back. Rob France, despite quite a lot of bids, is staying with us for now. Pozzo plays just in front, has been a mainstay of our side for a long time now. Biggie Rumana on one side, Gale Forces, as he's affectionately known. Kirby next to him, McManaman on one side today, Ferry on the other, with Leary up front. Of course, we're going to have to hope for big things from Leary. Of course, ordinarily, Marky Fletcher. Marky Fletcher. He would play, but he's got a bit of an injury today, so he's not featuring. The same goes for Jermaine Anderson as well, who continues to be a squad player in the side. What I like this year is we've got Gribbin, Dobra and a couple of others to come off the bench and make a real impact. I think last year we had some players that were probably decent, but the loan situation was a little bit of a mess. So far I've only got 4 loans, so there's still a space with a few days left of the window to bring someone in, but I like what we're working with, and let's see how we do today then. Shrewsbury will be our opposition. If you take a look at the Sky Bet League One table, you can see a couple of teams already played. Wigan currently top the table, and in terms of the season preview then, we sit 16th. That's the prediction. The highest promoted side, so that's pretty good I guess, but AFC Wimbledon, Lincoln and Carlisle propping it up at the bottom there, which I think is a bit surprising. I don't think it'll look like this come the end of the year, but I mentioned it before and I mentioned it again, some big sides at the top of that table, so they're the teams that eventually we're going to have to leapfrog. I think in terms of expectations this season, that's the real question mark. Where do I expect us to finish? Well, when you get promoted, you want to be sort of mid-table, I think. And I think mid-table is going to be what we aim for again. If you could be around that 14th to 10th spot, maybe with a little eye at the playoffs at some point this season, that'd be really exciting. I don't want to be in the relegation fight at all. I think if you're a top League 2 side, you should be able to cope easily in League 1. But I don't know, it's going to be tight. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to keep an eye on ourselves, but also the sides that have come up, AFC Wimbledon, Lincoln, and of course Carlisle as well. We'll see what they do throughout the season and use that as a bit of a bridge to gauge how we should be doing this year. We were quite close to those teams, so it makes a lot of sense. Right then, let's get into the first game. Shrewsbury, where are Shrewsbury predicted to finish this season? They are, well, this will be an interesting test then. 18th, a team that are pretty similar to us, but we're more likely to win the league, so thank you to the odds makers out there. Few players lacking a bit of match sharpness, which might be a bit of a concern, as Thompson's going to get his number 6 back, and Leary's going to come in with number 18. Here we go then. It's a shame, it's weird not having Marky Fletcher in the side, but our Boston boys, can they do the business in a new division? Of course, we'll take a quick look at some of their regions. They've got Tim Hook playing in behind the striker. On that right-hand side, Schulberg is fast, but not too much else to his game. And up front, Sam Smith, the singer, it's not the singer, is looking decent. I think we might have we faced Sam Smith at some point already this year? I feel like we might have done. Maybe it was Bishop Stortford. No, it couldn't have been Ben, because that's before we started the save. Let's move on, viewers, quickly. All right, then. Can we do the business? I'm going to say we're the underdogs. I'm going to play the underdog card a little bit this year and see if they can play above themselves based on the fact that they're trying to beat the expectations of the press. So here we go. I'm quite excited. A new season kicks things off. We're not in our famous orange and black, which is annoying. We're in our white kit, but it'll have to do. How will the new boys get on? You never get a second chance to make a good first impression. So this is the first time you're seeing them. We had a decent pre-season. A lot of it is a money-making exercise, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. And I realise this video so far has been a lot of me talking without too many cuts. I must be in the mood for it. It's Ferry finds the back of the net. Is he onside? I think the assistant's going to give it as, yes, he is. Lovely stuff. A debut goal, 17 minutes in. Will Ferry with it. Let's see how it all came about. Gale Force put the ball in. It's headed across by Schulberg, I think, which is their player, and a beautifully technical volley from Ferry to give us the 1-0 lead. Lovely jubbly. At a corner, immediately, Pozzo, I will just not be able... There's no pauses today. McManaman goes for it. Lovely effort and saved by the goalkeeper. I'm very excited here. Lots of possession for us so far, which is really positive. Pozzo puts the ball in and the keeper claims. I'm going to rest my voice for a minute. There's a free kick just in our half. Rob France launches it forward. It's not his best work, but it's not really dealt with properly by the Shrewsbury back line. And now Sean Raggett on the ball at 12 passing. I'm hoping to see the best of it. And hopefully his lack of pace at the back isn't exploited too much. I guess his pace isn't too bad. It's his acceleration that is mainly the problem. As Leary to McManaman goes for goal. Kirby's gone for it. Oh my, goodness me. Would you Adam and Eve it? Connor Kirby's first goal of the season. It was a strange player last year. He was very, very good in games that you didn't see, as I recall. But in other games, really put a shift in and played great for me. You can see here, starts the move really, plays it into Leary, and then reacts quickest. You can see starts quite deep. McManaman, the block comes in, and first time on the run, makes it 2-0 to Boston. And this is, I feel warm inside, viewers. This is good, a very good start in this division. So far, 2-0 to the good. And if we get to half-time with this, that's going to be great. One thing we don't really want is Leary to score a hat-trick, because then Marky Fletcher's place is under threat, and nobody wants that. As there's another highlight just before half time. Seddon gets in there, and now Ferry's got it under his spell. A new player in this side, and so far is looking excellent for us. As Bugumana plays it to McManaman, and the experience of Callum McManaman, everyone's getting involved, makes it 3-0 before half time. And if you'd have asked me pre-game, what would you like the half-time score to be? And I'd probably said 3-0 to us, and hoping that would happen. But so far, an excellent performance from the boys. Actually look so comfortable at this level so far. McManaman with a great strike into the back of the net. And some of my fears about how this season would go are just quelled a little bit. We feel a little bit better about it. My obviously only concern would be that we would finish second bottom while Shrewsbury finish bottom, and they're particularly bad. But hopefully that's not the case. A great start, and we could be top of the table after match day one. Top of the flipping table. I'm very happy with the way things are going. It's hard. It's very easy to just enjoy this. I don't have to make any funny remarks or get annoyed. I could just enjoy the wonderful football these Boston boys are playing. I didn't change the squad massively this year. It's the first year the squad has remained largely the same. And we're seeing the results of that as Bugumana goes close as well. I'm even saying his name perfectly. What is today all about? I know what the episode's called. The episode is called The Perfect Start. Question mark, because I've got to leave a little bit of mystery. But as we can see, it is the perfect start as they've hit the post with a free. That would have ruined it. That really would. Bugumana with another free kick. Kirby's there, knocked down. Sean Raggett getting in the action. 6'5" of Sean Raggett. He's going to be a weapon in the forward areas. It really is beautiful to see. Well done, everybody. Another move for us. 20 minutes to go. I've made no changes. The boys out there right now are putting in quite the shift as Kirby goes for it. Ramsdale with a save. And let's see and introduce a couple of the new boys. Pozzo's played great, but Dobra is going to come on and play in front of the two other midfielders. There's a Trequartista. I'm fancy, don't get me wrong. And I think we'll also let's bring Dronfield in as well for Kirby in that Mazzala role. Two new boys again on the pitch. Let's see how they do. Although actually it's a highlight before they come on, which is, well, this doesn't look like it's going to be anything. Unless it is something. Kirby on an amazing run. Plays it in. Leary makes it... Well, I thought that was going to be the highlight before the change. It was, but we scored from it. Andrew Leary with his first goal of the season. Connor Kirby running the show for the Boston boys right now. I mean, for the first time ever, viewers, I think I've had a good transfer window, and they're proving it. The amount of times I've signed players, played our first game, got beat 3-0, and everyone's sort of gone, this was a disappointing summer. Has happened far too often. 4-0 Boston. We're top of the table, surely. And yes, we will make the tactical changes. It's another free kick. 15 to go. Again, I've called it the perfect start for a reason. As Rob France gets there first. Another highlight goes Boston's way, surely. As Seddon picks it up. Lovely ball over to McManaman, who backs into his defender. Gets the ball now. Dribbles it past him. No. Plays it back to Bugumana, who gets it blocked. Rob France now. Loads of options to that side. Dronfield hits the bar. I mean, it's gone in. Dobra with the finish. The two substitutes combine. Armando Dobra with the goal. The Albanian beast. And it's 5-0. It couldn't be going any better. I feel like it's not even my responsibility anymore. The boys are out there doing the business. Slammed against the crossbar, and Dobra can't really miss. 5-0. Away from home, viewers. 5-0 away from home. Nobody could have predicted this, least of all me. I mean, it's been a terrible day for Shrewsbury. As another free kick. It's been free kick after free kick after free kick. Dobra makes it 6. Bugumana has played in so many free kicks, and we've scored from about 5 of them. It feels like we keep scoring from them. It's beautiful. And if we're not scoring, we're getting very close. It's a 6-0 win on the opening day of League One. It could be 7. I mean, let's not rule it out quite yet. All right, let's rule it out now. As it ends, Shrewsbury 0, Boston United 6. There's no need for any more transfers. We're brilliant. Goodness me. I can't quite believe it. I'm proud of the performance. Well done, everyone. I couldn't be more delighted. Clean sheet for Burning Goal. That was worth a 7.3. And Boston then go comfortably by 3 plus 3 goal difference, top of the table. It's a beautiful sight, viewers. It's a beautiful... What's this here? Will Ferry. 3 to 6 days. Well, way to ruin the party. Look at that. But McManaman's performance should be praised. And some of the boys that have missed out, I've got a job to do. How can I change a team that wins 6-0? I can't really. Marky Fletcher's going to find it difficult to get back into this side. And especially when even the players off the bench. Dobra comes on, 8.5, 2 goals to his name. I thought some of these boys were Matt Sharp. How wrong was I? They could have been sharper. Right, I said at the start of the episode we would do a little bit of transfer business, but I've got to be completely honest. We've not got too much going on. We've got a goalkeeper coach and Curtis Nelson, who's sort of a backup centre-back, to come in. That's really all that's going on currently. Again, I've got this loan spot. I think we might take a little look to see who maybe the, on paper, best loan player to bring in would be from maybe one of the bigger sides. There might be a few boys that have seen that and think, do you know what, we'll have a piece of that action. As Jack Nash certainly wasn't available before now, but is. I don't necessarily think again, it's not really the position that we need. Strikers we've obviously looked at quite a lot. There's definitely, I'm not joking, we've won 6-0. Some of these names are new. In fact, if you put it to doubtful, you get a whole host of people coming up. This guy, who's Manchester City, I mean, if he comes to me, all bets are off. It's a forward, and again, we don't necessarily need another forward. They require no contribution for him to come on loan. Nabil Tuazi, I guess it said Tuazi, looks like he could be different gravy. He scored in the first division of Spain last year, 10 goals. If he joins me, what's going on here? This would be quite the signing, viewers. This would put the cat amongst the League One pigeons. I guess we just want to see if he'll join. I mean, he's doubtful, but it's possible. Season ticket wise, 3,100 sold, 400 more over last year, which is really nice to see. A few guys there disappointed about not getting playing time. To be fair, mate, you were signed when we were in the Vanarama North, so don't expect too much. This could be next level. I'm kind of now just seeing. I mean, Steve Phillips is in, goalkeeper coach, decent. We'll get him in first of all. But there's a few boys here that could change the game. Of course, you can only have 5 loanees in your matchday squad, and he would be the 5th. And it makes a lot of sense. You can see there. Oh, look at that! That's enjoyable. That is enjoyable. When you score 6 goals, but your entire back line get in there, it's a good start, viewers. It's a very good start. If I don't get Manager of the Month for that performance alone, I'll be very disappointed. Right, the transfer window closes in a day. Like, it's very, very close. Are we going to get this guy in? I think there's like a... If I'm being completely honest, there's like a 40% chance in my mind that he'll sign. The fact that we got to talk to him, the fact that it said he was interested, although it was a bit of doubtful interest, to me, this is possible. So, I mean, if we get this guy from Man City, again, who scored double figures in La Liga last year, I can't really say it any more than that. I'm not going to take part in deadline day because I don't think there's a great deal more that we need. I think we've got cover in all areas. While it's not massively excellent cover, we've got cover. I guess part of the fear is that he could join another side. So we'll just keep an eye on that. He's rejected us. Right, I've got a plan though. When I offered it the first time, he wasn't under as a key player. What if we say key player and that he'll definitely play as a striker and I don't know what else really. As what's his preferred? Okay, yeah, let's do that. He'd like advance forward. Let's just offer him the. Oh, I've messed this up. Let's offer him the world, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, all these things are going to be great for me. As I mean, this would be amazing. I've made the offer again. I mean, they're going to accept it. Curtis Nelson comes in as a free transfer. Really nice bit of backup for us as well. Really pleased to get him in. I don't think there's too much else that we need. Emin Atlet, no, I don't need him. This guy from City, I don't think the loan window is necessarily up anyway, so we could maybe prolong this for a lot longer. And if he joins us, I mean, it says he's maybe interested. I'm trying to give him the world here to get him in. This would be next level. He's rejected it again. Why? Stop rejecting it. I wish he didn't say you would maybe come. It's made me believe, viewers. Right, I'm gonna say I really want him. I really want him. Klopp's the City manager. Come on, Jurgen, do me a favour. I'm not sure if a loan spell at Boston is right for me right now. I'm unlikely to accept the move. We'll try again. Persistence will get this through. Right, we're just not giving up, viewers. That's the strategy right now. We're just not giving up. City accepts it again. They keep accepting the offer. They're like, oh, stop it! Please, Nabil, please. I'll make an inquiry. We'll see what City say about an inquiry. We're just trying to we're trying to do everything we can. They've rejected the inquiry about the availability. No, other teams have bid for him, and they're going to be championship teams, and he's going to go there. Oh, I don't even want to know. He's just not going to accept our offer, is he? He's just not. Oh, viewers, what a sad moment. He's joined Fulham. This wasn't supposed to happen at all. It's more annoying that it was possible for a moment. I mean, Josh Windass is another option, but I don't necessarily think he makes a lot of sense to come in. Jacob Bottlefield, experienced central midfielder. Again, not really the option. I really wanted that guy. That has really ruined the mood of what was an excellent episode. Never mind. We'll leave it there, I think. If anything else happens, of course, any loan deals later on, I'll let you know. But if you enjoyed this episode, please do drop a like on it. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And I feel deflated after what was a lovely moment. Anyway, we love with Kev, but it's been they were like Fulham anyway. Scumbags, a lot of them. They're not. They're quite nice, Fulham. Oh, for goodness sake.